nothing even happened yet, and she's already on my page. Or you need to ask him this and da 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 da. No, it kind of that was a red flag to me. And then it was just the lie. Chad, I love you, but the fact that he was like, oh no
We,
no, like
we
when I
both
questioned
dispute that.
him, that he said wife like twice. So I was like, you sure you're divorced? Because I'm just known to snatch wigs. I have no problem taking off wigs anywhere, whoever, whatever. So
No, and honestly, like when you took it off, the hairstyle underneath, sis, I was like, why did she wear the wig?
Yeah, oh, here, let's go, okay, let's go. Yeah, yeah. She wanna make me her wife, but I don't wanna be her wife, okay. Slide by in the motherfucking range, I do the dash in the vintage, yeah.
YouTube, what is good with y'all? I'm back again with another Pop the Balloon reaction video. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this video. Let me know what else I should be reacting to. 98% of y'all not subscribed, so tap in and subscribe if you fuck with the video. Make sure you like the video and check out my playlist to see my other Balloon Pop reaction videos. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
So, welcome, y'all. How we feeling today?
hey
Good.
everybody, feeling great.
Well, it's good to have you guys back. We did have you both on episode 22 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love, where you ended up matching. All right.
No
So
question.
then, is it a yes for you for her?
So yes.
And is it a yes for you for him?
It's a yes.
We got a match. I'll take this mic and you guys can go on up. Oh, give it up for them, y'all. Okay, so obviously we saw on your episode there was quite a moment that went viral that included our lovely Miss Johyko. So,
That's me, I
so
did it.
Johyko, walk us through that moment when you were like, you know what, this wig is coming off. Like, tell us what was going through your mind. Like, just walk us through everything.
Should I give you like the entire backstory of how, like
No,
of it
no,
all?
no. We don't need all that. Just let us know, like, what
Okay.
made you be like, you know what, I'm gonna take my wig off.
Well, it was Hubert, like the fact that he mentioned me having braids and lumps, and at the end of the day, I was like, I'm not gonna walk off this set and let millions of people assume that I had like some big old messed up braids to the point where they can be seen under a full custom made wig. So I was like,
Mm,
it was more so for that reason. And then
okay.
I'm just known to snatch wigs. I have no problem taking off wigs anywhere, whoever, whatever. So I don't need the wigs.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, no, and honestly, like when you took it off, the hairstyle underneath, sis, I was like, why did she wear the wig? Why?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I had to do it. I had to. It was just, even though the question was, or the statement was said like a few moments before, it was still in the
Uh-huh.
back of my head. And I'm like, nah. So it was just a moment that I was thinking subconsciously, like, you're either going to walk off here and let people talk
Hmm.
you through the mud about you having some dookie braids and lumps, or you're going to show them that you don't have any. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to just
Right.
show them because, some people, they will never take a wig off anywhere. Like, I'm very confident. I know I
Yeah.
look good with or without it, so I had no problem taking it off and proving a point. So
Yeah, you do. You
yeah,
definitely look great both
thank
ways.
you.
So, Chad, during that moment, you were like, don't do it.
You sure did.
Well, Danny said the fool don't do it. I was about to say it, and then I saw her do it, and I was like, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which do you prefer?
At least he's man enough to admit he was wrong. I think she does look good without the wig on, but like for me personally, I'm not really a huge fan of like bald girls, like or really short cut girls. Like to me, you have to look like really good in order for me to like you in that state. And I don't know, maybe people do think she looks really good. I mean, I think she looks okay, but I'm not really like too sold on her like looks wise. And I think it's cool that they are like empowering her and she feel comfortable enough to take off her wig and all that. But just for me, like I don't know. I guess I just don't care. Like just do whatever you want. I wouldn't have been attracted to her regardless because of her personality.
Prefer wig on, wig off? What when you saw her?
She looked beautiful both ways, but if I had to choose, I would say wig off.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay, good. Johyko, see, not too many people can pull it all off, so you go ahead, girl.
Yep, thank you.
All right, so to go ahead and get into the juicy topic at hand that everybody tunes into these catch ups to know all about. So, since you guys ended up matching, have you gone on a date?
That was the plan. Right, Chad? The plan was
Uh-oh.
definitely for, I mean, either he was going to come here. I've never been to Vegas. I've always wanted to go. So
Mm-hmm.
the plan was to, but we have not. We have not.
Okay. And where are you at again, Johiko, if you could remind us?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay. 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 That's a little bit
But
of a distance.
that I
But what
travel.
happened?
I travel.
Yeah.
That really that doesn't really get into the way. Distance is nothing for me. So
Okay.
what
So what
happened?
got in the way then?
I'm not even gonna lie, like conversation with Chad was amazing. Like we still talk. We talk every day. Almost. Not I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't say every day, but we definitely check in on each other. I check in on him. But I would say the first thing that transpired when we all were leaving the set from this that evening and we were
Mm-hmm.
headed over to the spot that we end up hanging out after and we were talking and he told me that he was divorced, like myself, I think just about as long, like a year and a half. He was like, I'm in a similar situation like you. I've been divorced a year and a half. But then I noticed that he said wife like twice. So I was like, you sure you're divorced? Because this is the second time that you've mentioned wife. And he was like, no, no, no.
Okay.
Like, I am. Like, it just happens, which I don't do it so much anymore because I've been divorced 7 years. But I do know that sometimes you're so used to calling somebody something. But
Right.
I just had to ask because this is not the first time you said wife. This is the second time. Um,
Mm.
so that was the first thing. And then as we're talking and getting to know each other a little more, he was just talking about his divorce again. So I had asked him, well, when did you file specifically? And he said that it's the divorce is not final. But he is separated. And while some people are okay with dating someone that's separated, me personally, having already gone through that and just
Mm-hmm.
knowing the emotional roller coaster, I just want, I prefer someone that's just completely detached from any type of situation, especially divorce where kids are involved and just, so many aspects are involved.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no telling what can happen. I have friends that got back with their ex husbands just before the divorce or after. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, that's just something I wish could have been conveyed to me up front so that, I could have been able to really make that decision. But he was honest and forthcoming about it, which I appreciated. He could have kept saying, I'm fully divorced, but
Mm.
I did appreciate his honesty about that. But, I had to now make a new decision. Um, so I did.
Okay. So Chad, kind of bring it.
I don't know. Like, I feel like if you really like somebody, first of all, you'll make it work. Like, I just feel like he wasn't attractive enough to her. She didn't like him enough. And that's why she really didn't want to, like, actually fuck with him, like, despite the fact that he's going through his divorce still. Because you gotta be, if he says, I'm separated, I'm really not with this person anymore, then you have to take his word for it. And just because you have friends that did a certain thing doesn't mean that's like bringing your other situations into the current situation. But I don't know, like, I just feel like it's not even her business to know all the details of the divorce. Like, he's separated, he's not trying to talk to her anymore, whatever. Like, that's it. Like, you shouldn't need to know whether or not the paperwork has technically been filed or not. But also, I wonder, like, why he didn't file the paperwork. Like, why drag it out? Why not just get it over with, you
Bring it
know?
back on over to you. So, are you in the works of a divorce, or it's still just a separation and the divorce hasn't been filed yet?
No, it's been filed. So what happened when I submitted for the show? I actually submitted for me and my cousin to go on there, but he did not want to be on that type of platform with that amount of people. So I submitted the application for myself. It was about 3 or 4 days when everything was supposed to be finalized in June. Now there was some
Mm.
circumstances that happened on her end that I don't even want to bring up that uh, forced the date to be postponed to a later date. But everything is basically settled on that.
Okay.
The custody, the just about everything in the property. But yeah, so it got postponed. And by the time I was to get on the show, it was supposed to be completely finalized. But even
Right.
before then, we already knew it was done, and haven't even, no physical contact or interaction with each other for over a year. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, so that's why I wanted to, you know,
Get
submit
back
the
out there,
application
right?
and get
Yeah.
out there and see what it was going to do.
Okay. And like you said, you're fully detached by this point, so you are obviously ready to go back out there and begin dating again, right?
100%.
Yeah. Okay. So, Johiko, for you, have you been in a situation before where you were dealing with someone, you specifically? I know you said you know people, it's happened, but like, have you specifically ever dated someone who's in the process of a divorce?
I have, and it's something that I kind of found out again, like along the way. And I'm just the type of person, I put everything out on the table up front, take it or leave it. Like, give me the decision to, decide whether I want to move forward in
Hmm.
knowing this information. So the fact that I kind of found out like a few days later, and
Mm.
then it was just the lie. Chad, I love you. But the fact that he was like, oh, no,
We,
no, like
we both dispute that.
when I questioned him, like, you just said wife twice. Like, this is your second time you said wife. Are you sure you're divorced? And he told me, yeah, he gave me that
Mm.
reassurance. So just that lie, and
Uh-oh,
remember that
Chad's
was one of
saying
my
no.
deal breakers. So for whatever reason, he chose not to disclose that at the time. I prefer someone that's very transparent, very, like I said on the show, I'm real big with integrity and honesty. Like that goes a very long way for me.
Hmm.
So it was the lie, which I consider to be a lie. And we've talked about it. He's like, it's not a lie. It was a lie. He told me you had this.
I
Um,
say
and then,
separated. She says I said divorce, but I, no.
So
yeah.
you,
It's like, bro, he's literally had no physical contact with his ex-wife in a year, and you're nitpicking over like one little thing that he said. Like, this just goes back to what I was saying. Like, she does not really want him. If she really wanted to date him, she wouldn't be coming up with all these excuses like, oh, he lied, da, da, da. But he told you that he had an ex-wife. They're separated. They're working through the paperwork. Like, it's not like he's dragging it out or something, or he's still seeing his ex-wife on a regular basis and they have physical contact or they're living with each other. Like, this is just her coming up with excuses, in
you're
my
saying you've
opinion.
already told her from the beginning that you're in a
Yeah.
separation. You're
Well,
not
when we
fully
got
divorced.
Yeah, when we got to the place that we hung out and Aiden had drinks and everything,
Hmm.
yeah, I said separated, and I don't know if I went into why it got postponed afterwards, but I do remember mentioning that it was supposed to be finalized in June, and there was things that happened, and we talked a lot about that behind the scenes. But what caused it to for the date to get extended? So I was upfront that day about that because I didn't want. She's in Florida. I'm out here. Start off with you know little details that may not be. I could have sworn I said separated, but she's 100% adamant that I said divorce. But
Mm.
the ultimate truth is that there is no connection there. Nothing to go back to really. So. That's just that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if he would have told me he was separated, that would have been a deal
Hmm.
breaker right off the bat for me. I would have
Oh.
definitely paid attention to that because again, I just prefer someone who has no
You did
ties.
say that day.
Although he is,
She said that
separated.
day?
She said that night. You said that. That's a deal. I'm gonna be honest. That's a deal breaker for me. We still had a
No,
good
what I
time
told you
after
was a
that.
deal breaker was that the only time I mentioned deal breaker was the passport because we end up, there were a lot of questions
You
I
did
did
say
not get
that.
to ask
Yeah,
on the
she's
show.
right. She's right.
So the
I
only
remember
time
her
I
saying that, but
mentioned
she's right. It was for that.
Right. The only time that I
Okay.
mentioned deal breaker was when I asked him,
That's
does he
true.
have a passport? And I was like, oh man, I was like, that would have been a deal breaker for me. But it's something that you can obtain at a later time. So I was
Yeah.
still open to just getting to know him. But
Mm.
trust me, had he told me Arlette he was separated, anybody that knows me know I don't do separations.
Hmm.
I don't do none of that. I prefer someone who is 100% out of a situation. While they're separated and not living together, there are still a lot of things that have to be resolved within, that dissolution of the marriage. And it's just not
Mm.
something that I prefer not to. And don't get me wrong, like I mean, there are people who are separated and back out on the dating scene and they have no ties. I just prefer not because there's just no telling what can happen. After the divorce, there's still that healing process. With my divorce, after I divorced, that reality hit. Like, as much as I was looking forward to it, it was painful. I had to heal, you know?
So
So
you're thinking he's not fully healed yet enough for
well, the
you to
divorce is
date
not
him.
even final. Yeah, like there's a whole nother process post divorce that you go through emotionally, mentally, just the adjustment of, like no longer having affairs and financial. It's just too much. I just I don't want to, So yeah, that was just my choice. And yeah, I don't recall him telling me he was separated. I would have definitely told him at that moment we can only be friends, but it didn't go down that way.
Okay. So now what if, we're saying everything finalizes, he's good to go.
I don't know. Like, I just, like, once again, I just feel like she's really nitpicking. Like, if she really wanted him, she would just let it go. Like, there's a whole healing process, da da da. Like, that's every individual person. Just because you had that experience doesn't mean that he's gonna have the same type of experience as you did, and everyone's marriage is different. So, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like she's projecting a lot. And why, if you are really looking for somebody, you really think you found somebody that you like, and then you're just gonna do all this extra.
When he comes out and says, I'm officially a divorced man. What's it going to look like between you two?
Um, I think honestly that would have to be a bridge that I would have to cross when it gets there,
Once it's there. Okay.
But even
Let me
outside
just
of
say
that,
this.
Okay, go ahead, Chad. Go
Let
ahead.
me just say this.
wait, I was talking, Chad. Let me
Oh, I'm
finish. Don't
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I won't forget. Go ahead. My bad.
to truthfully answer your question. I spoke to Chad about this. Another thing that I don't deal with is drama. And unfortunately, wife to be came on my page. She was on several blogs. Yeah, she commented on my page. And I prefer to be in healthy relationships, where whether we get along or we don't, there's just no drama. So the fact that she did that and we don't even have anything going on yet, it kind of, that was a red flag to me. I prefer to
Okay.
deal with, I don't mind a person that has an ex-wife, a baby mom, whatever that situation, but as long as they know how to be mature and handle themselves accordingly, that's fine. But nothing even happened yet and she's already on my page, or you need to ask him this and da 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 da. No, I don't. I live a very peaceful, soft life. My kids, like, that's just not something I want to entertain because, who's to say, down the road when something happens. So one of my lights just went out. Can you
Uh-oh.
guys still see me
Do you
fine?
want to fix it? Yeah, we still see you. Did you want to fix it or it's good?
Um,
It's back. Looks
it's
like it's
okay.
back.
Yeah, well, I have a backlight and I had my ring light on. But
Oh.
as long as you guys can see me okay, I can plug it in really quickly if you don't mind.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, because
We
I
can
have it
edit all
plugged
this
into
out.
my
Don't worry.
laptop, but my laptop is shut.
Which
I don't know. Like, I just feel like going into what she's saying, like, it's not his fault. Like, I feel like it's kind of inconsiderate to him to let, like, somebody that he's really basically estranged from to be able to influence your relationship with him. Like, it's not like he can control what his ex-wife does, and that shouldn't necessarily reflect poorly on him. And I just think she's looking for any excuse. Like, just because, I mean, I get wanting your life to be peaceful, all that, but, like, block her. That's as simple as that. Like, there's no reason why. I mean, I just feel like there's no reason why she would ever have to see her in person. And if you block somebody on the internet, then they can't, like, whatever, see you, keep contacting you, whatever it is. And just ignore it. Like, just because she sends you a message doesn't mean you have to open it, doesn't mean you have to respond to it or worry about it. Like,
but
what?
she was just discussing. I said if the shoe were on the other foot and her ex is coming up out the throwing mud on the wall and being messy, I told her the same thing. I wouldn't entertain that, to be honest. I don't have time for that. I'm a very busy man. I wouldn't want to entertain that as well.
Hmm.
And we talked about that, and her bringing up that she doesn't know if I'm healed. I don't know if I could say the same thing for her to be able to do something like that on a big platform when she's moved on. She has another man and has moved on. So to do what she did, it didn't make sense to me. And
You're
I
talking
did
about your
tell her,
ex-wife to be?
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. So she's already moved on as another man, and I don't know why you would even do that. Just being
Yeah.
messy. Just I probably seeing me on a platform, and we've been together forever since 2007. That's a long stretch, and to see that maybe, you know. I don't know what it did, but I'm completely moved on. I am completely detached from that, and I can't speak for or control others' actions, and that's unfortunate, and
Right.
I understand it. But I thought her when I was on the show, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't see something, and I may have been talking to Danny next to me or something. But when it was time for her to pop between me, La, and Hubert, she was about to pop on me, and I brought that up. So I was like, "All right, out of the three," and just right before then, Hubert just got through flaming her, and I'm like, "Damn!" When I went to go watch the show back over, I didn't see that initially that she was coming over to pop me. I don't know where I was. Not seeing that, but
Mm-hmm.
had I saw that, I would have thought in my head like she really is not interested in me in that way. I don't know what it is. She's a sweetheart. I don't think she'll really bring up what it is. She mentioned like I'm too old to be too picky, bald or what. I don't know if you don't like baldness or what it is. You never mentioned anything about that, but I in my head when I rewatched it, it seemed that way. Like you were gonna pop on me. Um, yeah, so I didn't see it initially. I may have been talking to Danny right next to me,
Mm.
but when I watched the show again and she had the choice between La, Hubert, and me, um, she did her little shuffle back and forth and then he popped, but she was clearly headed to me. So before all the other
Mm.
things that she rightfully so wouldn't want to continue on. You have your preferences and everything. Before those even came up, uh, after seeing that video, she already had her mind made up. In my opinion, that I may not be her flavor. That's just what it looked
Uh-oh.
like to me. So
Okay. Johyko, let's.
I mean, first of all, if this is true, that just goes to show the point that I already made that all this is just a justification for the fact that she really does not like him. And then, two, this situation with his ex wife, the fact that she already has another man, she's already moved on and started dating somebody else, yet still felt the need to go and comments on that girl's page and say all this stuff on blogs, whatever. Like, it just goes to show how delusional women can be in their attachment. I mean, I guess men could be like this too, but I mean, I've never dated men. So it's like, for me, I've experienced dating women and the woman be coming back and trying to talk to other, like, people that I'm currently talking to in the past. And it's like, you're dating somebody else now. What do you care what I'm doing now? Like, how dare you have a new situation that I'm respecting, and then you come over and disrespect my situation? Like, how does that make any sense? You can't have two men. Like, this ain't no polygamous
Let's
relationship.
hear
Well,
from
I
you.
can answer that. Well,
Uh-huh.
first, Hubert had not done anything yet. It was in that moment that he had actually popped. Because you're saying after Hubert already like said what he said, he hadn't said anything yet. That's why he popped because I was taking too long to pop. It was my turn to pop the balloon, and because I couldn't decide, and yes, I was walking your way, and that's when he popped, and that's when all the why did you pop your balloon transpired with
yeah,
Hubert. So it
my
had not
memory is terrible.
yeah, it had not happened yet.
So you
But
were walking his way to go pop his
Yeah,
balloon?
yeah, because at the end of the day, I out of those three, I really did not know who to pop. I'm sure many can speak for me when they say that they just you have to pop. Like, I remember I asked, I was like, can I ask a question? Like, can I have more of a reason to eliminate somebody? But
Mm-hmm.
the rule of the game is you have to
You have to
eliminate
pop.
somebody. I
Yeah.
didn't have enough information. Honestly, to my opinion, all three of them physically, they were not bad looking. You know what I mean? So going off of looks, that was not the reason. I just had to pop. Like I had to
Okay.
pop. So I popped. I was almost gonna pop on Hubert because that's who I almost popped on first.
Mm-hmm.
Like I almost popped on him, and then actually I was gonna pop on you, and then I was gonna go back and pop on Hubert. That's when he popped. Because
Okay.
then I was about to pop on him. Then I started to walk towards you. I'm not gonna lie. It was confusion. Okay, I did not know what to do. And I didn't even base my popping reason on anything aside from the fact that I had to pop somebody. So
Okay. So is
I
Chad?
popped.
Chad is someone that is your type, though.
Yeah, no, Chad is attractive.
Okay.
Like I've said before, Chad to me, it was between Chad and I forgot his Danny that were best dressed. And if
Mm.
I had to pick between them two, Danny still had like streetwear. He still had the shredded jeans. He looked Chad looked
No, no, no. Are you talking about the guy in the
Danny.
front, the first guy?
Danny was the last one with all black, and he had like the
Oh, you
shredded
call that
jeans.
streetwear?
The shredded jeans, like when I dinner
Oh,
wise,
okay.
like that's more like street urban. And I look at like a first date type thing as like a first dinner, like
Slacks.
first encounter. So yeah, I was looking for something more. So he was the only one that didn't really come off as streetwear. He had on like a collared shirt, he had on just some solid jeans, and he had on like, I guess I don't know what kind of sneakers to call those, but like kind of like
It
all
was
those shoes. But
Timberlands.
Oh,
right, but they were
got
they
the
were
Tim.
just they were nice shoes. They weren't like sneakered, like he
Yeah.
was the best dressed in my opinion, based on how he put himself together.
Okay.
Now some of the other guys were more stylish, but for the occasion, Chad matched more so what I would have wanted to see everybody on the lineup with. Even though he
Okay.
still, was still casual, but it was appropriate. So yeah, I don't know. Chad is even when I talk to Chad on the phone, we still talk often. And, I look at him, he's very attractive. I love when the sun hits his face. He has a nice skin. The bald head looks good. I don't have preference on hair, so it had nothing to do with that. The only reason I popped on you is because I was taking too long picking. I really didn't know who. That was a very challenging time at that moment. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And I
the only
think,
reason I popped.
yeah, okay. No, I can see that.
Yeah.
Chad, does that give you the clarification?
I'll give you that.
This is my true honesty, but you're entitled to still feel how you.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the women. I haven't seen a lot of the episodes where the women get to pop, but I feel like based on what I have seen, the women be very more indecisive on who they're gonna pop than the men are, and that's insane because the men really be indecisive too, and it's like, oh my goodness, like it just the whole indecisive thing. It just, bro, I would have popped my own balloon just like Hubert did. Like, if you're not sure about me, then I'm not gonna like sit there and let you like wait and see what happens and whatnot. I'm popping if I'm. And she's like, oh, they're all not bad looking. He dressed the nicest. Like, it's not like she was looking at him like, ooh, he really looks good. And that's a reason why a lot of women pop. And it's like,
How you feel, and I respect that. But I'm giving you my genuine, like,
Yeah.
straight, raw, authentic transparency. I have no reason to lie.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now how's dating life? Are you guys dating still? Since it obviously didn't work between the two of you, are you guys seeing other people? Are you still out there? Like, how's that going?
I'll let her
Oh,
answer first.
Me?
okay, go
Okay.
ahead, Johyko.
I mean, right now, I'm open to dating. Clearly, my DMs have gone insane,
Oh, I
crazy since
bet.
my viral moment. But I'm still very, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm very intentional. So I'm just not willing to link up with whoever because of whatever. My dating technique still has not changed. I'm someone I was married already. I've been divorced 7 years. I was in one little 3-month relationship, and here I am still single. Um, I don't mind being here until the right thing comes along. So that's just
Yeah.
where I am with it. I haven't found any good opportunities yet. Um, yeah, so I'm here. I'm patiently waiting.
Okay. Chad, what about yourself?
Uh, Not to the extent that Joe Higo had, but I think mainly because they were hearing, I have a
I think just like the fact that she's been divorced for 7 years and she has only had one 3-month relationship just to goes to show how picky she is. Like, in 7 years, you've only had one 3-month relationship and you think you're single serious? You're not. Like, you're being picky and you're just looking for. You're not lowering your standards at all. I'm not saying lowering your standards like in a bad way, but you're not being realistic about what your options are.
mobile pet care business. I have a fat cat at home. The cat ladies did start rolling in,
Not the
and
cat ladies.
others. But I'm not the type, and I'm not really that experienced in dating. I've been in one relationship, like I said, since 2007. So this is all new to me, and
Right.
just my preference is one person at a time. I'm not trying to juggle or anything like that. I have my values, and the way I want to conduct myself is just easier for me because I value peace of mind. Ultimately, for everything to run the way it does, but uh, I did read all those DMs, and there was one that was real classy and
Ooh.
respectful, and she seemed happy about the situation, but also threw in the if it didn't work out, you know, hit me up, and I did, and
And he told me because I told we
I
talked.
did I
So
did tell her,
yeah,
Uh-oh.
I did
yeah.
tell her, and I'll say thank you to BM and to you because in
Oh.
the first 2 weeks when me and Johyko were speaking, we were every day. Even though I felt like she was up front, and I did tell her, the first day I had my memory, she had hers, but we
Hmm.
did get to the point fast. We were very direct in our communication, and I
That's
love
good.
that. And that's actually part of the reason I was attracted to her on the stage. Her confidence, and then getting torched and the way she responded to that, the class and everything. That was dope to me,
Yeah.
and I know what I want, and that aligned with what I wanted. And but when I reached out to the DMs, I sensed that in that message as well. And I gotta say, I'm operating the same way. I don't have a technique because I'm not dating or anything, but my technique is be straightforward.
Hmm.
We're not here for a long time. Don't waste anybody's time. I got a business. I got kids.
Right.
I'm the type. I'm a one woman type man,
Hmm.
and I know that. Uh, well, I don't know, but from hearing from everybody, the dating market has pee in it, or is it fecal matter, all that, what everybody's saying.
It does.
But I think I'm a good judge of character, and who I reach out to, we tackle some heavy topics just across the board,
Hmm.
and my technique this time was to not go first and ask questions. So just in case, I was protecting myself
Okay.
to not get love bombed, or I was very protective. And it was weird how on just about, I can't say just about, on every level we were connecting. So
Wow.
I think you may have found the female version of me, to be honest.
Oh.
And yeah, so once me and Johiko started, the first 2 weeks we were talking every day, and then it kind of started to fade. But I checked on her when the storm came and everything. She's a dope
Right.
person. But once it started to fade, then I reached out to her to say, "Hey,
Mm.
what's up?" And it kind of ramped up real quick.
Okay.
And yeah, so we're actually
Oh.
gonna see each other for the first time at the end of the month and see how it goes. But
Oh.
I don't, I don't think I'm moving too fast
Okay.
because of everything we talked about. And but it's not to say I'm gonna rush anything, but I have some strong feelings, I must admit. And
Uh-oh.
Bro, this man is like he's so clearly somebody that does not have a lot of dating experience. Like just the way he be like get it all worked up over this girl, in my opinion. But I'm happy that he's found somebody else and went through all his DMs and whatnot. I also think that I'm surprised that this doesn't happen more often, where people go through their DMs and find someone that they really like, because I think that probably would happen with a lot of the men and women on this show, and they're not really like, I don't know, like it's nothing wrong with that. Basically, like almost every follow up I've seen, the relationship didn't work out, and why not leverage the audience that you've gotten to connect with through the show to reach your goal, which is to find love.
yeah, I think you may have found somebody for me, even though it wasn't a screen
And
on the
you know
show and
what? If it
everything.
does work out, she's a lucky girl because at the end of the day, and I told Chad this as well. Like I was very
Hmm.
transparent with him. He's a great guy. Like unfortunately, it's just his circumstances that I can't.
You
Like
can't get
I
with.
told him, I said, look, even if you weren't married and you were fully divorced, you have an ex-wife that decided to come on my pic, and that
Mm.
Messy.
and I hate situations like that where it's not even at the cause of you, but unfortunately because of your environment around you. And
Yeah.
again, like I don't know her. I don't know what she's capable of. The fact that she felt that way. Wait, what if I come to Vegas or you move here or like so I have kids
You
that I
just
have to
don't know.
protect. I have myself that I need to protect. So I was like, it's just unfortunate because I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Chad is a great person. I was really looking forward to getting to know him.
Hmm.
We had some great topics. I did feel like we aligned in certain areas, but unfortunately, it's so unpredictable when you're going through a divorce, and that it's
Right.
just a risk I can't take. I could take that risk, but the risk of things, hey, she wants to work I don't, we don't know, and I just can't take like an announcement like that, because I am somebody that, like I said, I'm intentional. So if I like you, I like you. I'm gonna, I go hard, I fall hard, and I would hate for something like that to ever happen to me. And then, like
Yeah.
I said, that other aspect, but he's a good guy. He really is,
Thank you.
and that's why I choose to still be friends with him, because at the end of the day, when I don't feel like things are working out, I'm like, okay, cut you off. But no,
Mm-hmm.
I do want to know how he's doing. I do. I, every day when I'm calling him, he's doing his pet grooming, and I love that for him. Like the black boy joy in that whole, like you don't see too many black men in that industry,
Yeah, you
So
don't.
to see him doing his thing, and I
It's
really love that for
amazing.
him.
Yeah.
So no, I truly wish you
Okay.
the best in your future dating endeavors.
Yeah, and Chad, we're gonna definitely have to hear more about this. We might have to bring you on BM
You're
Talks to them,
lucky. I
hear
was
more
about to
about
sign it that
this.
quick, but
I'm with that. I'll do it.
I
And
was
now,
about to find
Johiko,
love that quick or find a
you're still
situation that
out
quick.
there.
I'm out
Would
there. I'm
you
open.
would you
I'm
be
open. I
interested
just
on
know what I
coming
want.
back, or like, what's
Would
it
I
looking
come back
like
on
for
the
you?
show?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep there.
Um, yeah. If you guys like, I could. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure
I
people would
watched.
love to
I
see me
watched.
on the show.
I don't even watch this type of stuff to be honest. But I saw a clip, and that shit was funny. Popping on the short kings, all the trash talking. It's funny. But not only that.
I don't know. It does sound like after hearing her talk more, it sounds like she really does like him. Like in the beginning of the episode, I feel like I wasn't really getting that vibe from her, but now I do see like it does seem like she actually likes him, but she knows herself well enough to know that she shouldn't just fall for somebody, and she knows that that can happen, and she doesn't want him to get back with his ex. So it doesn't seem like he's going to get back with his ex, but now it feels like she done lost him. Like this other girl done stole his heart.
How genuine you are. I could tell that you find pure joy in matching two people. You
I
literally
do.
had two people getting married because of your show. Had you
It's
not made that show,
amazing.
those two people would not have connected. That's dope as hell. Shout out to
Shout out to
them.
my husband.
Shout out to you guys.
Yes, you and
But
BM.
I sensed how genuine you guys were and the class in that. I wouldn't have entertained, no disrespect, but I wouldn't have entertained some of the other shows because it just didn't compare to this one. You as a
Wow.
host, yeah.
Thank
The
you.
class, the genuine joy in what you do is why I don't do anything like this. Shout out to Brian. I'm from the ghetto. We don't like to bring attention to ourselves. We do not bring attention to ourselves. But I am one to go against the grain for most of my family, and
Hmm.
I'll like start my own business and doing like I'll get on stage, do character. I like to get outside the box and do things. And this was probably not probably
It's
this was
very
the
out the
biggest
box.
outside of the box thing that I did, and I
Yeah.
had a great time. And
Good.
shit, you guys probably changed my life with what's going on right now.
Oh my
We'll see, to be
God.
determined.
Okay.
But
No, we definitely have to hear more, Chad. I got to
okay,
talk to BM about this.
okay. Talk to
But
him
no,
and
thanks.
get back to
Definitely
me.
thanks. Thanks for having me, guys. Like I
Of
appreciated the
course.
opportunity. Everybody wanted to know. Everybody's been DMing me. Are you still talking to him? Here is y'all answer. Are
Right.
you? So are you guys still together? What's going on? How are you in your match? Me and my match. We are friends. I'm happy for him. I wish the best for him. I'm still single. But relax your body,
We'll
please.
see. We'll see what we can do about that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you guys want me back on the show, I'm sure people would love to see me back on the show. I'm open to
Right.
it, but I just really want it to be intentional. I really want to meet
Definitely.
somebody special. So yeah, and it happens. So yeah, we can talk
Perfect.
about that.
All
I don't
right.
feel that I'm
Well,
biased. She was one of the biggest stars on the show. She has to be back.
right, girl.
I'll be
People
back
waiting
for
for
the
you.
reunion. If there's a reunion, I would love to come back on the reunion. But yeah, no, I'm open to it because I think people kind of got to know who I was.
They
So I
did.
feel like if men know that I'm coming back, or maybe they won't know, maybe they'll be like, what, she was a serious one. I want to go with
Right.
serious intent.
Hmm.
So
All right.
just
Well, just to kind
I
of.
just as long as they're not no street. I love my professional men. So
Hmm.
no street, no hood guys, none of that. We could talk about it. I don't do the hood streets. I'm scared of those people. Mm-mm.
So, any upcoming projects, just for us to go ahead and wrap it up?
Okay, cool. Finally. Yeah, I do agree though. I do think she is actually serious about finding a relationship. So I think that may attract some of the men on the show if they've seen her episode before. They'll be like, okay, she's actually for real about this, whatever. Second of all, they can bring me on the show anytime they want. I'm out here. But they just be, I swear, they be trying to bring everybody just back onto the show. Like they be sticking to the same pool. So I can tell for her especially, like they would want her to come back because she was one of the most viral people. So people would be looking excited to see her, and that would draw people to the episode when they find out that she is back. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Will he date the new girl that he's met? Will she find somebody else? Should they have gotten together? Let me know. Let me know what else I should be reacting to. Subscribe if you made it to the end of the video. Like the video. Check out my playlist to see my other Balloon Pop reaction videos. I'm gonna get up out of here. Hope y'all have a great day. Peace.
Oh, here, let's go, okay, let's go. Yeah, yeah. She wanna make me her wife, but I don't wanna be her wife, okay. Slide by in the motherfucking range, I do the dash in the vintage, yeah.